So, Linda, you ever heard of Kevin Lee Jackson?
I have not.
So, apparently, October, right at Halloween 2018, Frankfort, Kentucky, 25-year-old father of a son and another kid that he helped raise just up and disappears.
That's crazy.
I mean, and they make it well known he was into drugs, but come on, I don't give a shit if you're into drugs or not. That's not a reason.
It's not really relevant.
No, it shouldn't affect the case whatsoever. I mean, other than you know where to go look.
True.
Now, I've been to Frankfurt. I've ordered open records requests. I've got 429 pages of investigation reports. Hours, and I mean hours, of jailhouse interviews. Let me tell you, those were some good listening.
I can only imagine.
And, of course, Linda hasn't done anything.
As always.
So let's break into this case and see Linda's genuine reaction, because she has no idea. I'm sure she's caught on to a thing here and there from me running around the house going, "You'll never believe this shit."
Bits and pieces.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't always pay attention to you, though.
I love you too, sweetheart. On that note, in Kentucky, some stories never get finished. They linger unanswered, unresolved, and often forgotten. This is Buried in the Bluegrass, a true crime podcast from OleGergMedia. Each episode will dive into cases from across the Commonwealth, focusing on documented facts and those pesky little unanswered questions. All right, Linda, they've already heard one episode. Well, 40 people have heard one episode. Introduce yourself, young lady.
My name is Linda Keyboard Sexton. I'm 40, born in Lexington, Kentucky, lived here most of my life.
That actually explains more than you'll ever know.
If you say so.
And I'm OleGerg of OleGergMedia. I'm everybody's favorite asshole that needs to get a job. I finally talked her into, well, we'll say conned her into being on here. I was like, "Look, I bought this expensive microphone and headset," and she didn't use the headset.
It's weird. I don't like it.
You're just not a true podcaster now.
That's okay.
All right. See, what you don't know is I've got the voice changer on, and yours sounds totally crazy right now.
As long as I don't have to hear it, I don't care.
You're not going to listen to your own podcast?
No,
Oh,
maybe.
terrible. You know you're going to. She's going to be like, "What do I sound like?"
You'll make me.
Yeah. All right. Go follow, like, do all that housekeeping stuff that we need to do.
And if you're crazy, you can follow my Facebook page, Bipolar Brain. There's a space between bi and polar. I know it's not supposed to be there, but it is.
Don't follow her. She's got more followers than me. Who was Kevin Lee Jackson? 25 years old in 2018 when he came up missing. Right around October. It depends on what report you read. Some say it was just before Halloween he was last seen. Some people say it was Halloween.
It's kind of creepy.
Right? I don't mean to say this in a bad way, but these people could not have picked a better victim in this case. And even though it was 2018, Kevin didn't have a cell phone. He communicated with people through Facebook, it appears. He didn't have his own vehicle, and basically he was moving couch to couch, it sounds like. The wild part is, like, at that same age, I was very much in the same situation. That was also your doctor pain pill era, if you will.
Yeah, I did get a lot of pain pills because of endometriosis.
I mean, at least we didn't do nothing crazy like stick our hands in burning grease or anything.
No, my pain was pretty legit, but I used it to my advantage.
We'll save those stories for another podcast.
It'd probably take up a whole podcast, if not more.
Start a new one. Linda's Adventures. No, I was in the same boat. I was like there, like I'd go and she'd run out and we'd hit the streets and we'd like, I have to have some just so that when I paid for it, I get my money's worth.
Oh Lord.
That was my attitude. That was along with my herbal habit the entire time.
You were a little bit of a.
You can say it, Stoner.
Yeah.
You can say it. Still am. But with that being said, it obviously does not matter one bit to us what this kid was doing. Nobody deserves to disappear. And from the looks of it, especially at the hands of your fucking friends.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Now, obviously, that's alleged. With the rumors in this case, I've heard cartel, that he stole checks from somebody. There was even CP. Yeah, the child stuff. Yeah, that was mentioned as well.
Well.
Yeah, like
cartel though. That's kind of crazy.
Left, right, center. Like that's one of the reasons I'm like I can see why they didn't get very far. And honestly, some of the jailhouse interviews seem like it's like, hey, I want to get out of the cell for 5 minutes. Let me go talk to somebody. There was no legitimate evidence from them that I could find.
Kind of unhinged.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Think meth head locked up in the county jail, and they ain't talked to nobody in about a month.
Oh, Lord, that could be anything.
Oh, you should really hear some of that. Unfortunately, it gives you some insight about the whole crowd that he was around at the time. I'm going to refrain from using names like the previous podcasts have. We'll just use T. But let's just say I've reached out to T, and obviously no response. Apparently, she's even left the country at this point.
Really?
Yeah. Kevin was apparently staying with them for probably 6 months leading up to his disappearance. And that's the infamous house over on Hillcrest that's in every bit of the police work. And I mean, I should use names. It's all in the police records. All you got to do is request it. $42.90 for the 429 pages, and you can have your copy. But I ain't got shit, and the shit I got I like, so I ain't trying to get sued. Now, if you ask me, this is one of the mitigating factors. Kevin had no phone, no car, and was basically sleeping couch to couch.
Having no phone's weird.
Like 100%, even in 2018,
yeah.
Not having a phone. That's, I mean...
Even if it's an old burner phone, everybody has a phone.
Yeah. And apparently the way he contacted his family was strictly through Facebook Messenger. I'm assuming he borrowed phones or used somebody's computer. I mean, it turns out he did have a laptop from where he was going to school. And that laptop was subpoenaed. But that is not subpoenaed. There was a search warrant granted for that laptop. And that is the one search warrant that was not executed.
There would have been a lot of information on that.
That seems odd. That's one of the lingering questions. Is why was that whole, I mean, and it's in the police file, just bold letters from the detective, not served.
That's odd.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves here. According to Kevin's mother, one of the last confirmed contact through Facebook was October 25th or 26th. There's varying different reports. Like one says 25th, one says 26th. One of the two. Then there's also somebody that claims that they saw him and his son on Halloween. Now on November 12th of 2018, Sharon contacted the Frankfort police and reported Kevin missing. There was an Officer Bullard who completed that one. And then from there, Officer Kyle basically took over the case until May 30th of 2019. That's when Detective Stratton was assigned the case. And from all the paperwork I've seen, he had to ask.
That seems like a long time.
That is a very long time. Why was there a detective not put on this case? It is what it is.
I'd be angry as a mother.
She has expressed some frustration, to say the least, in my communication. I'd be madder than hell, I ain't gonna lie. Now, let's address a few things here. The main person that he was staying with was questioned, and apparently the detective, well, not a detective at that point, the officer was told that Kevin was going to rehab in Indiana, had bought a bus ticket. She had a copy of the bus ticket, and she could obviously relay what rehab he was going to, or he was at. And from everything I can see, that pretty much concludes, minus a few phone calls from Kevin's mom to the Frankfurt Police Department and her going in for DNA. That was about everything until May 30th, 2019.
That's all they looked into?
Even when Detective Stratton, on the paperwork I read, when he came in, he wanted to interview the main person again, and the officer was still waiting on bank records.
That's a long time.
How many months had passed? Still waiting on bank records?
That's crazy.
Now, obviously, I wasn't there. I don't know firsthand. But from looking at the paperwork, Detective Stratton come in and he lit a fire under this case the best he could. This is also when the search warrants started kicking in. They searched the house on Hillcrest Avenue. And they actually took cadaver dogs into the damn place, man. That was the last place that anybody had known that he was at. And believe it or not, the cadaver dogs hit.
I figured all the evidence would be gone by then.
You would think so, but even they did drill holes into the concrete floor to allow gases to escape, is what it said. But even though they found, or the dogs hit, they did not find enough evidence or a body. They didn't find enough evidence to actually tear the floor up.
So they didn't dig and look?
No.
That doesn't make sense to me.
No. Like, a cadaver dog hit, and they also did search warrants, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, on different locations where they were only interested. Like, that's a whole different thing. If they hit, they hit. If they're interested, apparently that's a whole different category.
Interesting.
And the wild part, this is not a single cadaver dog. This was multiple cadaver dogs in that basement.
That hit on the same spot?
Yep. Now, they used luminol as well. But like you said, hell, how long it had passed?
Right.
But they didn't find any blood evidence related to Kevin.
Well, they probably cleaned it up.
I mean, what would you do?
Clean it up.
I'm going to leave this shit here for 6 months. Now, I listened to several of the jailhouse, interviews, and every one of them said the same thing. It seems like the whole crowd knows basically what happened. There's just no proof of it. And they pointed towards the T-girl's, either the basement or her family farm in Shelbyville.
Seems like it's the basement.
I mean, they actually serve search warrants on the farm. They've got, I think what they said, 50 acres out on Vigo Road in Shelbyville. I drove my fat ass up there. I had to see it. And I'll be honest, like, if you're going to hide a body, that is not the fucking spot to do it.
Really?
No.
Why not?
That just is wide open. There's like very few spots. But I mean, there's some wood line, and I'm up there in the middle of the winter. So it may be a far different view in the middle of the summer. But from what I've seen, it's like you're asking to get caught.
Well, they're probably not very smart either.
You said it. Now, they did serve the search warrant up there. Same cadaver dogs that was in the basement. They showed interest in several spots. One of them was a big brush pile that they said had been manipulated recently. But again, nothing found, no remains. There's follow-up warrants, but
nothing.
Literally nothing. Now, if you listen to the jailhouse interviews, that's because the mother is connected to the Kentucky State Police, and she's got connections. So that's warrants for the basement, warrants for Vigo Road, and then we got digital warrants for all of his devices.
The few he had.
Yeah. Basically, he was going back to school, which his family say he was wanting to get sober. He was wanting to get treatment. He was wanting to go back to college. He was in the process. He was actually getting money, and that plays into it here in a few minutes too. You'll hear about that. But just from everything that everybody says, he was not in the mind to just disappear. It doesn't add up.
He was starting to better his life and wasn't in the mentality of going on a bender at that point.
Yeah, and you know as good as I do, if you've reached that point in your life, there's certain friends that they don't want to associate with you. You're blacklisted. Fuck you.
Misery loves company, and if you're getting happy, then
that's true. People hate to see anybody happy. They also had a warrant for a laptop, but the warrant never got served.
Why not?
That's it. There's no. I mean, they had enough to get the warrant. Like literally, it met the judicial threshold, as they say. But it's marked literally not served by Officer Kyle.
That's odd.
Now, at first, Kevin's mom actually reported him and his son missing.
Wait, what about her son? The other one?
That would be her grandson.
Oh, her grandson.
Yeah, they actually put out an Amber Alert for this kid as well. And come to find out, there is a video of Kevin, which anybody who's seen the video, it's easy to find this video. You can look it up easily. There's people who say he has a gun to his head. There's people who say he is fucked up out of his head, just wasted as can be. But there's actually a video of him signing away his rights. It's supposed to be temporary rights, but he's supposed to be signing away his rights to the T-girl's sister. Which, what?
Yeah, but her sister. Why her sister?
This is where, again, the rumor mill kicks in. It's been said that the couple couldn't have a child, so that was it. There's been child trafficking rumors. Like, if you go through the police records and the interviews, it's just, it's a true crime podcast in itself, and I could just read you the police reports.
Was the T-girl the baby mama?
No, actually not. The baby mama was completely separate. Now there's rumors that she used Kevin to make her husband jealous.
The T-girl?
Yes.
So where was the baby mama?
The baby mama, she's not actually involved. Kevin had custody of the child, and actually at one point was helping raise another child. So I mean, good on him. He didn't run, and everybody swears up and down, Kevin would not give up his child willingly. You
can be a drug addict and be a good dad.
Yeah, 100%. So obviously the Amber Alert was canceled. The child, which obviously I know the child's name, we're not going to put it out there. They have changed the last name, and from what I hear, that couple is actually split up, and the child is actually with the male from that couple.
It's confusing.
Good fucking luck. I have studied hours and hours of this, and I'm still confused. But from that temporary custody, they have gone to court since then and actually have full custody of the child now.
Who has full custody?
The people who were granted temporary custody, that couple.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was the girl who is one of the main people listed in the police report's sister.
Right.
It's convoluted. I mean, left, right, yeah. Like, I have no clue how more people have not heard about this case.
Seems kind of out there.
Yep. The crazy part is Kevin's mother nor the baby's biological mother has been allowed to see it since.
Really?
Yeah.
That's messed up.
That's fucking crazy. I'm sure the excuse is they're all drug addicts, but that's still...
They're still people.
That's fucking wild. Now, when I say I've listened to hours of interviews, I'm not even freaking playing. There's at least 2.5, 3 hours worth of interviews, and there is so much hearsay and rumors spread throughout. He's apparently been buried in the basement, under a porch, under a patio, under the large burn pile at that farm in Shelbyville. And there was one other one. I can't remember what that interviewee said, but it was off the wall. It didn't match anything else.
He's all over the place.
I wonder why detectives could. Now, I'm not giving the detectives a pass on this one because they waited entirely too long.
Right.
Even on the subpoenas for internet, they waited too long to where all the evidence was gone. So they don't get a free pass. Don't give it that twisted. But how in the hell do you approach it when you got all these
different angles
and all of them come from, like, let's be honest, meth heads?
Not very reliable sources.
Yeah, I mean, a judge is not going to give you a warrant based upon what Billy Bob meth head down the street told you to get out of the cell for 5 minutes.
Well, meth puts you into psychosis, which can make you delusional, and
you know all about that.
Psychosis, not meth.
Oh yeah. Let's clear that one. Let's make sure. There's also about, I'd say, a good 90% of the interviewees said that they had heard or knew of a certain person confessing, just claiming that, she was a bad bitch.
What's weird is there's so many false confessions out there.
Oh yeah.
People do it all the time.
Yeah, just to claim 15 minutes of fame.
Right.
But even with all the confessions, there's no first-hand witnesses. There's no true confessions. There's no charges filed. So
dead end again.
Every single road they took ended in a dead end. And we're not talking about just a few. There's 7 interviews, and as recent as 2024, there's been a phone call. There was 9 search warrants with Facebook, Meta, the Hillcrest Avenue address, Vigo Road, however the hell you say it, your choice. And there's obviously an unserved one, and 11 subpoenas. The subpoenas included BCTC, his bank, I think the internet, stuff like that where they could prove. Even like after a good amount of time, they new subpoenas come out for the bank account to make sure, to show that somebody was indeed trying to open that bank account and get his money. I don't know if they succeeded.
So all that, and they still couldn't find anything that led to what happened?
Nothing. It's still where it's at today. Now, during the one interview that I seen they did with the T-girl, she said that she had he'd taken the Greyhound to Indiana and went to rehab and was going to produce all that. Nothing was ever shown. They did a search warrant for Greyhound. Nothing was purchased in his name. They actually went, if I read it right, they went to the rehab facility as well as contacted him, and he wasn't there.
So everything she said was all a lie.
I mean, none of it could be proved, that's for certain. So I think we can pretty much count out the voluntary disappearance angle.
So basically, they know nothing.
They took their sweet time, I'll tell you that much too. They subpoenaed the internet provider for the ISP addresses that they had connected like 3 years later. I'm certain not very many internet providers keep that data that long. I don't see that being a requirement.
So did they officially close the case, or is it still open?
Oh, it's obviously still open. They know about as much now as they know back then. They got a good idea of who did it, and even in the jailhouse interviews, the detective himself says that he pretty much knows what's going on. It's just a matter of proving where he's at and what happened.
It's gotta suck to know what happened and not be able to prove it.
Oh, I'd be frustrated as hell. Technically, I should say the case is administratively inactive, but not closed.
What does that mean?
They're not working on it. That's basically what that means. I'm when I requested the reports, that's probably the first thing in a year they'd heard about it. But the mom and sister has submitted DNA into the system. That way, if anything is ever found, it's there waiting. But no charges have been filed. He's obviously still missing.
So where does that leave the case?
I mean, at this point, there's only allegations. There's no proof. There's no body. Obviously, there's no activity in the bank account. There's no activity in his Facebook. Nobody's got any messages. Kevin wasn't the type to just not get in touch with his family. And I've personally talked to the sister and the mother, and they're on the same page that the detective's on. They pretty much know. It's just a matter of proving it, and how do you go about that?
Well, I hope the family can find some sort of closure.
It would be extremely hard not knowing anything. Well, actually knowing and not knowing at the same time. Now, a lot of my info I got, like I said, from the records request. I did watch the Jessica Ann YouTube true crime, the Kevin Lee Jackson story, and in the Missing Kevin KJAX Jackson from the Murder Police podcast, and then a user Loving Life. She has one out there, and I'm pretty sure that was the only 3 that I was able to find whatsoever.
That's the only people that covered the case?
That's
no others?
I mean, there's been local newscasts, obviously, here and there, and every single one of them, even in a newspaper, which I don't understand, mentions the drug use right off the bat.
Of course. To make the case irrelevant.
Now, Kevin's mom actually interviews in the Murder Police podcast. Go check that one out. I don't want to repeat everything they said and be out here copying word for word their podcast. So I kind of covered in my fashion. They covered some other areas. And I think Jessica's is 4 years old. So some stuff's actually happened since she's posted hers. I went more off the police records and the known facts. Actually, Kevin's mom and sister have offered, if I ever want to interview them, they've offered to come on. Now that I've got it set up for 2, you might have some guests in the house.
That would be interesting.
Right? I mean, I'm sure everybody would love to hear that. I know Sharon is his mother. I'm sure, like I said, you can go see her being interviewed already. But like I said, things may have changed, new things. I sent her every file that I got with the police records. And she even claimed there's stuff in there she hadn't seen. They hadn't heard the interviews.
Really?
I mean, I don't know if I'd even got it if I were them, to be honest. I don't know if I'd have wanted to hear it. I'd probably matter if it was me.
I don't know. I think I would need to know every little detail.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty sure his sister runs the Missing Kevin Jackson page on Facebook. If he, like I say, anybody knows anything, go talk to them or the Frankfurt police, because we can't do shit over here in Lexington.
Never.
And again, for the old cover your ass, anything that was stated was speculation. Even in the jailhouse interviews, I'll take that with a grain of salt.
It's all allegedly.
Allegedly, yep. Now, I'm sure I could dive down every angle of this, from the subpoenas to the search warrants to the jailhouse interviews. I'm sure you'd listen to every minute of it, but yeah, you can do that records request yourself. So, Linda, what are your thoughts?
I think what bothers me the most is how it is mentioned multiple times that he is a drug addict. And maybe that's just me, because I've struggled with that, and I wouldn't want my case to be dismissed just because of an issue I had like that.
I mean, not even drug addict alone. Just think about in your manic state. If nobody had helped you,
Right.
You could have easily come up missing, and nobody would have ever known.
Yeah. Well, she was mentally ill, so.
Yep. See you later.
Who knows? However, I do understand why it does need to be mentioned that he was involved with drugs, because that determines a lot of different things, like what areas to look into, who to talk to, stuff like that.
It also cuts out a lot of people who are going to talk to you, because you know as good as I do, they see the popo rolling up, they ain't talking to nobody, they closing the blinds and fucking hiding.
Snitches get stitches.
That's right. Well, I guess on that note, we'll let Linda go and rest her poor shoulder from her, physical therapy. Yeah, she's dead. She died.
No, just getting old.
Well, yeah, you said that, not me. So thanks for at least tolerating me and being on here with all the bullshit, and hopefully you enjoyed it somewhat.
I just want it to be known I was forced to do this and felt awkward the entire time.
She sounded totally awkward, didn't she? Sitting around bullshitting with her husband. Terrible. Lord. So please nobody report us for abuse. P.S. She does abuse me.
Yeah, that's why my shoulder hurts.
See? We've got it on record now. So, any good attorneys? No,
Next, you'll be on the podcast.
Oh, shit. I do not need that episode. So, if it ever occurs that Linda goes solo, question everything. Technically, you should always question everything, but Linda is going to start her own podcast. What's it called?
Life with a Bipolar Brain, and there's a space between bi and polar.
Because she's got to be different and bougie.
It was actually a mistake when I first started my page. I didn't mean to put the space there, but then I ended up keeping it.
As Bob Ross would say, it's a happy mistake.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you, Linda, and you now have permission to leave, I suppose.
Okay, bye.
Now, everybody can go see the show notes for all my sources. I want to thank Miss Shermy Maxwell. I think that's how you say it. I'm sorry if it's not. She was totally nice. I only talked to her through email. But she was the lady over in Frankfurt that did my records request. Made it very easy. Thank you very much. Way easier than KSP. Shout out to KSP for making it difficult for records requests. Like I said, though, go check out Jessica Ann on YouTube. She did her video about 4 years ago. And then you've got the Murder Police podcast. They actually interviewed his mom. Those are great references. I got a lot of info from those. Then there's the 429 pages of search warrants, subpoenas, supplement files to the cases. It shows who gave permission, Miranda rights. Yeah. Unless you've ever done an actual records request, I didn't know what to expect. Didn't know what I was going to get, but yeah, I'm learning quickly. There is a ton of bullshit spread throughout. Like half of it was the same stuff over and over and over. So I'm not about to bore you with every single page posted, because I'm sorry, I probably don't have the bandwidth for it, to be honest. I've sent copies to the important folks, so they know what's in there, and like I said, you want a copy, you can go spend $42.90 and talk to the fine folks over in Frankfurt. But if you made it this far, bless your heart, and thank you from the bottom of mine for even entertaining this bullshit. And not the bullshit of the case, but just my bullshit in general. You can find the podcast at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all those fancy ones, anywhere you can find your podcasts. If you want one of my fancy stickers, get a hold of me on Facebook. Send me your address. I'll pop it in the mail free of charge. Sending them out free, and hopefully I see them all over the damn place. It'll be friggin' epic. And if you're interested in dumbass videos on Facebook, go follow me. That's Greg Sexton, or you can just search OleGergMedia. You'll find me. In the meantime, don't go dying on me. We don't need an episode about you here on Buried in the Bluegrass.